My name is Ashok Sijala. In this session, we learn the user login form in C# window-based application. And here I first share my laptop screen and here fix the position. And in my taskbar, there is a Microsoft Visual Studio Express 2012 for window-based desktop application is open. And here in file menu, I open project, that option, and you can maintain in your project in main root folder, like here CS project, and here that is a website folder, and that is a image. Here we can take in this user login form as a database, and one database we can take our all project tables in there. And then also we can prepare the report folder for, and next we can take that report whenever we have to prepare. So that is a project we can directly start like SDLC. In my previous video lecture I can give that idea. So that's first step, I directly start the design phase. So previous you can that is information collection, primary investigation and analysis part is to yourself. So data flow diagram, data dictionary, you can prepare well data flow diagram and use the normalization, like first normal, like in Oracle Blue Book first chapter is there how to apply. And I can give one suggestion, your project you cannot directly take the primary key you can apply, but foreign key you have to not apply. First your data flow, which form is which data is passing, that is fixed. So that is data flow diagram. So and that is you can first take normalization to your field, then and then you can better perfect way you can prepare your project in TYBCS M5 or 6 or any PCA or MSCIT or MSCA, whatever your master degree or bachelor degree, that project where is there and your subject, because there is a first time you have to get some student is a some first read how it maintain. Very easy, we can follow the step by step and flow the mind in clear cut to how to taking which form and how data pass in which form to which form. So that is a just idea for as a project guidance. Now so here that is our main Microsoft Visual Studio website folder, and that I just double click. And now we in my, if you not watch my previous video lecture, then I suggest to you can first watch and then take this video lecture. You can best way understand. So here in my first, I can design the flush screen. I just first run and then we can get the idea. So in this session, we can prepare the user login form. So that is a flush screen, and here date time is currently we have to print. And now that is I designed for you, and that is a login form. That is our session is start now. So here is a first main panel. You have to take some guidelines for the design part. So in directly in this running page, so that is a login form is open. So the sequence is the flow of your project. First your flush screen is progress bar is moved, and then we can go the login form, and then you can username password, you can prepare your database and match that table username password. If yes, then okay, and then MDA form open, and then in MDA form you can take menu, and that menu like master module is there, transaction module, report, utility, about us, like help, extra, some that type of module, and then exit. So all that is collection of module that is known as a project. So here that is a main panel in background, then that is a header panel, that is a picture box, that is a one label, and you can first auto size you go to false, and then you can width and height increase your one level. So then there is a one level, but we have to provide 3 lines inventory management system for Honda showroom. And here that any project like inventory or management, that is no problem, that is all taking the login form is a same process, same coding. And here address is there, current date time we can also print in login form. And here we can take as a title, that is also title, but we can separate. but in master page and transaction you can page that panel you cannot take. Here you have to provide. So there is a here not form with height is not so long, so we can provide here separate panel. Otherwise in master form or transaction form, what happened that so many fields is there, and then you can provide this panel extra, then your form width is very large, so you can not sufficient see at the same time all form data. And also that is a grid view, data grid view is there in the master form and transaction form. So in just that is two screen, a flush screen or welcome screen we can say that, and logging form we can provide this extra panel. Otherwise you can take also that is a here logging also, there is no problem. You cannot take this panel, there is no any problem here, you can also, but that is a better way look your design. And here two picture box is there, here next extra other panel is there, and that two label, two text box and two button is there. So now we can take some coding, and first we can finish this date and time in the welcome screen, and then we can take the one database table in logging form, and then we can apply this all thing. Now here that is a flush screen designing, that is also panel, extra panel, and here is panel is there, and that is a progress bar, and that is percentage. Here we can provide percentage sign, and now here timer is there. So here two control is there, progress bar and timer, very important in flush screen. And now you can in the timer, that is a first we can in welcome screen, here timer is there, and I just double click. So what is a coding, I just give rough simple idea so you can get the proper sequence to understand this lecture. So progress bar dot value is 100, then logging form is open, so we can reach to at 100, that is maximum length 100 in progress bar value. So that time show, and then our current form is hide this flush screen, welcome screen, and timer enable false, because in page load we can enable true. Okay, and in else part progress bar value plus equal to, that is compound, and that 10 we can provide at a time 10 value, and then label text equal to assign the progress bar value, so like a percentage moving, here we can assign as a percentage. So now here we can provide two line, that is our two label is there. So here can get the idea, here is a label, that is date and that is time. So that is date time we have to print and then start our logging form. So here date text, and that we here provide first heading like a date. So in that label date is a gone, we can assign this value. So here provide we can also date as a heading, and then we can use inbuilt date time class is there, and that I just above so you can watch better way. And here we provide the now, so now, and then two string is method, but two short date and not to take in directly, because there is short long date is there, so we can take two short date string method. And same way we can take the time, that is uh, second label, and here we provide the time to system and date time in the class, and you watching the that tooltip system.date that is display date and time. So we can take the date and time, yes now is yes date, so system.date and time is there. Okay, so here, and that is now, that is property, and currently date and time we have to print to our two label. Okay, so that is finished to our flush screen. So that's we have to not print, yes now is print. So and here like percentage moving, that is label, and here date time, and now our login form is open. Okay, so now we can take coding in this, and also here we can print date time. So now we can start our logging page coding, and first that is I give the design, So that is a 3 picture box use, that is main panel in background, and that is header panel, that is title panel, and that is a logging separate panel, and then 2 picture box. I also give in runtime idea, that is design. And here we can take also timer control. Okay, so I just double click in timer control, but first we can stop debugging. Here is our page is running mode, so shift F5 is there, and then I just double click. And previously we provide in the like here welcome screen, and that coding we taking 2 line in this, like here there are 2 line. I just copy these 2 line and paste to the timer. So here our timer tick event is there, and I just copy and paste 2 line. So our date time in the logging, that is logging page coding. So that tick event I just write. And we can also change in design, that is only we can take timer, and that here enable is false, so we can just enable it equal to true. So that is event tick event start, and our current date time is print. So we can first print this date and time in the logging page. That is coding is finished. So recently we have to type these 2 line, and there is no, I think, give next time I repetition all. And here I also take 2 label and same ID. Look at the design, and you can check that yes, LBL date is there, and first you can confirm this, otherwise ID is not there, so your date time is not print. So both label we have to give in every page same ID, so we can directly copy and paste. Okay, so I just save. Now we can take the OK button click, but we can start the logging page coding in OK button. We can take first one database. So here in start menu, there is a Microsoft 2013, or you can 7.3, there is no problem. And here access database is there. I just double click, and there is now open. Okay, and here you can first create, not I just pass my mouse so directly clicking, but here blank database we have to take, and we can first our root folder in our website folder. So here in my E drive, computer in E drive, there is CS underscore project, that is a project folder, and we can take that folder our database, and we can prefix our form institute or our project name. So here Honda, so I give the Honda underscore DB, so we can get the idea. And underscore we have to separate, or you cannot give the underscore, that is also possible, but we are distinct these 2 words. So Honda underscore DB, so we can click in our mind, that is our project database. Whenever you can like I some give idea project guidance, whenever you can take in your college in your lab, that taking daily basic backup, and that backup you can take also take the database backup, but many students rename the database. So that is original which database, how many uh, working and how many table is there, that is forget sometime. So then connectivity string taking, that time so many error getting, so you can be alert. Your original database is only one, and that is you can maintain that database all tables in one database, and take that backup database backup. Okay, so backup is a very important in project level, otherwise in your that PC you have to work in your college, if any problem in hard disk or any processor or any my OS is corrupted, so many problem is there, so you can be alert. Okay, now we can take this database, and okay, I just press, and here our in previous access, here access DB in previously 2003 and 7 MSDB Microsoft database, here now that extension is changed, and that is our database, and I just create button click, so our database is create. And we cannot directly provide this table to take to our table, because that is a provider ID as a auto generate. So I just close this table and go in create menu. Here create menu is there, and design table, so that is not take ID field, because that is ID is a auto increment. And we can take in master and transaction table, that is automatic, like purchase ID automatically, like customer ID, product ID. We can take auto generate, and means we can add button click that time automatically that text box is filling. Okay, and be alert here. We can take the table field very careful. Here I just give some idea, like name I select in the field name, that is getting error. Like it is a, if you use a reserved word, you may receive an error when referring to this field. So be alert. In field name, you can apply the rules of C language, rules of variable. So that is very important concept. So here you cannot provide the reserved words. First letter must be alphabet, underscore is allowed, symbol is not allowed, maximum in 2 or 4 and maximum 8 character you can provide the length of field name. So you can easily type in your coding part. And also here you cannot take, like some student give the field name as a date, height, width, that is all our data types. So you cannot, height width is our window form, that is height width, picture box, that is height width. So that is a property, so that also you cannot use. So here we can give the take care, and some students give the uppercase and lowercase mixing and that field name, then that typing the coding that time that forget which character is upper and which character is lower, so getting the error. So we can see the all designing part, all coding part, but then we can see the 2 day after our project lab and so extra lab is provided, and all finishing 2 day 3 day that guide also work that form but not getting error, and then we can see in the table that is a wrong selection of the field name. So that is be careful in the giving the meaningful field name. That is a guidance to as a, so you cannot getting some low error. So that is a, in project you can getting error, there is no first rate, not afraid, because there is a some initial stage you can take some error, there is no problem. Here we can provide you name is our field name, and here in 2012 there is a short text and long text. There are two facility. In previously just only text is there 2003. So here we can sufficient short text, there is no problem. And also you cannot give the, like here, password. So password is a, like in text box, that is a value, so we can password character, so that is a also reserve keyword. So here we can use pass just, and also that is short text. And now you can here also in description in your project workbook you can provide like data dictionary, and also I can give the idea, you can provide the normalization, like first normalization, second normalization. And initially stage you can only provide the primary key, not provide the foreign key. After your flow is designed, your all table is ready and validation apply, and then you can apply constraint, that is known as constraint, and database language, that is known as a schema and sub schema. So that time you cannot proper sequence and proper flow is defined, then you can apply your constraint. Primary key is okay, you can provide your inform, but the foreign key you apply, but we can take first your flow is designed, data flow dictionary is a perfect, and that field name, and that take the appropriate data type, like in some student giving the mobile as a text, and some taking the float or integer, because integer range is not sufficient 10 digit, so float. And that time what happened, that mobile number print in the report that getting the 2 digit after the mobile number. So mobile 10 range is displayed, but there is 2 extra digit because that is taking float data, right? So here you can watch, here you can supply not default decimal point, 0 decimal, then your report is not getting the dot after 10 digit, that is 0. Okay, so that is some guidance to project. And here you can give the, like here we can say that username, so description of that field. And also you can take in the documentation your project workbook also you have to prepare, but you can prepare your documentation, that time you can give the field name, like a table in like word you have to prepare first serial number, then field name, then data type, and then description, and then constraint, that is column constraint, which field is primary key and which is foreign key. Okay, first you can normalization, then and throw your define all validation, all our testing is applied, then you can apply your constraint in your project. Okay, so here we can say that user password, and you can here not provide, there is no any error, but that is optional part. So okay, but that is your reference. And now we can, I just close this form. Yes, that is a yes, save, yes. And table name is also very important. So here we cannot some student take like a logging, so that is a not, that is a reserved word. Logging is not give the table name. So here we can give user login name, prefix a user, so we can get the user login. Okay, and then it is taking a primary key in like master form and transaction form. You can provide the primary key, but here there is no requiring login form. So I just know. And after you can complete your table, you can first right click your table and then design view. You can look if any mistake is not there, so that you can check and then you can apply your coding. Otherwise what happen here, some field after the some problem is there, so be alert, and then you can first save and see your design structure, and then I just close now, there is okay, and minimize this access database, and now we can come back in the our Visual Studio. So that is our design is ready, user login form. And some student asking the question how we can start the collection in first time, how to get information. So here I give some idea, inventory management system for Honda showroom. So that is a, we can start like in showroom entry, and how to exit that process we can first understand in flow, that is a data flow, like that is project flow, we can say that. So you can take like first master page, like in that case like Honda showroom. So like we can say that model master is there, and we can say that customer master is there, in between in showroom and company, in between, or showroom and customer, in between one dealer or dealer table is there. And Honda showroom providing service, and service master is also possible. And we can say that employee number of worker or employee, that that is a showroom, so we can say that employee or worker also in service center. So that is employee, that what is a maintain the document, each and every step you can note out in your, and you can get the information collection, you can some questionnaire to 10 to 8 or 12 question you can handle. And some student asking question how many form in one project, there is no any answer, because depend upon your title, that is. So there is no any limitation, like you can say that that is fix 8 form or 10 form. And 100 mark there is a subject as a project, so you can be care and prepare that 100 mark sufficient that the project, and take that type of definition. Okay, and that you can first all process and then go in step by, like I take like first day the process I understand, then next week I come into my showroom or getting the information collection part, so I start the model master, only focus on what is a model master. Then customer prepare I myself, like customer ID, that name, address, mobile, email ID there, so that is we can prepare ourselves. Like service, so what is service, how many service, how many free service, so that is like model master, how many models, how that colors, chase number, that bike, how many scooter or bike that is type, or so many field is there. Any short field you have to identify, you can ask your informer or key person what is it, that full form. Otherwise what happened on viva, or that is that time asking that examiner what is the full form of this field, so you cannot get any idea. So that is also you can take care in information. And then go in master after transaction. So like purchase, if you're after you can showroom some mal is there, but some defective in transportation, some damage is there, so you can reback or replace policy is there. So purchase return form is there in your project, otherwise it's not there in your project. Then sell, what is policy, service tax, GST, or discount is there, company provide you discount and you provide your customer discount, because that is a middle layer. you can define your layer. Tier, you can J2EE, that is known as tier one. So you can define your layer, and then you can get best way idea to information collection part. Okay. So now that is, I think, sufficient. And then cell master, and then stock. Some student take the stock as extra menu, but we can take directly in transaction. There is no problem. Okay, so that is some guidance to how to collect the information. So initially state some, you can perfect handle to your title. That is my suggestion. So you can getting perfect idea, and also you take your mind clear. That is our layer. That is company, that is root in showroom, that is middle layer, because you can provide the company to your bike and scooter, and then you can sell to your customer. So that is a middle layer. And you can, like Honda company, you can take the project, so that is a root layer. And in between dealer is there, or after the customer and showroom is dealer is there, so that is a middle layer. So that is also possible. So like Amuja Cement, so many in like we can government and institutes is there in we can say that like employment exchange. So that so many happen. So now we can start our coding. That is some guidance for project, so you can get better idea. So our target of this session, we can handle the perfect where logging, and that is perfect, I think, design. You can better more to that design in your project. That is just sample for designing. Okay. And now we can click in form. So here form window is open, and we can first here provide the timer tick event. Okay. So I just cut, and before the timer tick event, taking this after our constructor. So that is a maintain the sequence. And first we can create our table logging, and now we can here first watch, that is a yes system or data, that is a namespace is there, or in Java we can say that package is there. So we can include our first connection string. So system or data and data package, that is package also, and that is OLDB. If your backend tool is SQL Server, you can take SQL client. In OLDB, that is universal, you can backend any two database, and ODBC open database connectivity is there, and Oracle client is not in the list. You can add reference, then it appear in the list. Okay, so here we can use OLDB and just semicolon, and now we can take some class, and in this logging form we can use only connected. In master form coding we can use connect and disconnect, both combination of classes. So here we can take just three class, and that is first connection cn, then OLDB command, yes CMD is there, and that is data adapter we have to not use, that is my saying. In master form we can use also data adapter class, but here we can require only data reader class, and that is here. And now we can open our logging form load event, and that we can provide memory allocation to connection class. And here we can supply our connection string, and there are two ways. Here we can @ otherwise we taking if not provide @ we can provide 2/ in our connection parameter. Whenever single slash is there, we can provide 2/. There is two technique. So here we can use directly @ there is easy, so there is no getting any error. So I think you can get the idea, like in your BCA fourth semester, that is a C# window base is a part 40 marks in 14% that syllabus. So here cn.open connection is connected architecture. So now we can take our connection string. So if you forget, so take here step I revise, that is tool menu, and that is option connect to database, and then now is open. And here we can, if here is a Microsoft database, there is no requirement. I just give the idea, if your backend tool like SQL Server or SQL Server database, and here also provide the Oracle, we can take reference, that time is also appear. So here we can take no change, and that is a known as a data source, and that is a provider class of bunch, we can say that provider. So here OLDB provider, If you take like SQL Server, there are SQL Server provider, and we can take like SQL Server that time, that is two provider, OLDB and SQL. So OLDB is a universal, like we can say that object linking embedded database, that is full form of OLDB. So now we can take access, yes, and just OK. Now we can take our database, just click on browse, and in our main root folder, we can, here we have to create, because that is that folder is open. So Honda_DB, that is our database. I just open, getting error. So that is file in use in access, that is our table is used that currently in this Microsoft Access Office, that software, you can say that. So that is a with no getting our connection string. So I just OK, and first we can close the access. Here I first close this access, then and then we can taking no error or getting no error. So now I can select and open. So here symbol is selected, otherwise you can rename. Okay, just open, and now that no any error. And if your connection string, you can provide save as my password. So persistent security is on. So if you not selected, there is no any error, but we can select at our security on. So test connection, yes, test connection is succeed. Okay, press, then go in advanced. Yes, and here connection string is appear in this box like provider, OLDB's provider, and I just press home key. So starting and shift key press, and then end key. So all connection is selected, and just Control C copy, and I OK, and here is also OK. Now our connection string we can get, and just I double quote in constructor of connection class constructor I passed. So I just here we can take like yes, single slash is there in connection string. So if you not provide this @ sign, so here you can provide two slash. There are two way, here and here, two plus you can provide two slash if you not provide the @ sign. So there are two way I can previously say, but now our connection string is appear. So here we can, like here I double slash and here also double slash, but you cannot apply both like @ sign and here two slash, any of two, one you can select. There are two way, but you can select only one way. So here I provide the two slash, so there is @ sign here is not required, and here provide that sign, so here there is a two slash is not required. So you can select only one way. There are two way solution, and that is a character constant. Slash is a double slash is a single character constant. Okay, now our connection string is ready, our class is ready. There are two class we have to take, connection command and data reader, and now we can click our OK button. So that coding is start now, and I just here we can take the appropriate ID, like here I just show you in TXTUN, so we can use in our coding. So whatever field you can use in your coding, you can definitely change that ID. Otherwise you can not getting that control. Like some student, like in master forms, there are 10 text box, so text box 1 2 3. So after that is forgot which text box for which field, and that is insert operation, that is get the mistake. So there is some problem or issue is there, and we can provide that ID with prefix, like here I provide the TXUN. So I already perfect designing, and here we can see TXTPW, so we can use in our coding. And that button BT OK, you can also BTN, that is also prefix in the button. So BT OK and BT cancel CN. Okay, now we can, I just double click in OK button, and now for coding, and that's I first we can provide here date time in tick event. Okay, now we can start our coding in CMD, and that can take in constructor. There are two parameters. First our query, and second is our connection. So see in the watch window. So here that is a tooltip, you can say that, and that two argument in constructor. First CMD text and then connection. So that is a command class constructor. So we can pass two. There is connection, and now command text we have to select query our. We can match our text box value to our database. So here we can select from select asterisk we have to provide. There are two fields. So if you require only one field, but here all two field is there. So we our database name is u login is there. Yes, and where clause. Yes, where condition is we have to bind, and we can first fill you name, and there is a rules now you start. If your string field is there, so you can apply single quote, double quote, and plus sign. If numeric field, there is a no require single like double quote plus sign in your field id. But here our both two field is a string field, so we can provide like here first single quote and double quote both give simultaneously same time, otherwise you can get error, you can forget any one, so that is taking error. And then plus sign, and our text box we can see our id, so txtun, that is our first text box to username, and then we can give to bind with and operator, so and then we can take like u password and equal sign. I just go ahead, so you can see here, and then turn single quote, then provide the double quote, and then plus sign. And here our second text box, that is txtpw.text. Yes, and now, and last we can provide the query in double quote here, two double quotes over. So that is a here and that is a start to our query double quotes. So here is double quotes. Okay, so that is single argument. So now our query is ready, and also we can provide in like just look in the design part in our text box, that is a password, and we can provide the asterisk sign of the character. So I can just show you. So here is a, if you not idea or you can forget, here password character property is there, and we can provide asterisk sign. So our password is not visible at a runtime. So I just show you. Okay, now our coding is start, and now our query is ready. Yes, I just revise what is query. Select star from our table name, where clause, where is a clause, and you name if match in that text box, and operator, there is an and operator, and password is also match. Then and then we can take, that is perfect our username, or we can say that MDA form is open now. Yes, then we can take handler as a data reader dr, and cmd, there are three methods is there. So like execute, that is none query, so that is used for insert, update, delete that query. But here our query is a select, so that is some reading operation, so we can take execute reader. Otherwise if you perform insert, update, delete with connection class connected architecture, so that time you can use execute none query. But here our operation is select query, that is reading operation, so execute reader. And also one execute scalar, that is aggregation, auto generate number, that time use. So there is three, so many method is there in command class, but there is coding in our project, there are three method use: execute none query, execute reader, and execute scalar. So here we can use execute reader, and now we can take integer variable count equal to 0. Okay, so here we can take while, and here data reader dot read is a method, and that is return the boolean value. So we can take directly in while loop or if condition also possible, because there is only one record is there, we can match our one record, username and password, that record. And that is C++. So that is our logic, and that is only single statement. So while loop we cannot provide opening and closing brace. So whenever two statement, you can must be applied. That is you have to know very well, because that is you can senior student TYL. Okay, and now here we provide the if condition, and that is C equal to 1. Then and then we can provide here, and first I else part also take, and here we have to take. And now second if, we can say that nesting if. Simple if else not we have to take in that inner. Outer is if else, but here is only if condition, and that we can require, we can use the message box. So here we can take the message box class, and that is show is a method, and that is a overloaded. So we can pass in one argument, 2, 3, 4. There is no limitation. So you can see in the here in tooltip that is 20 plus overloaded. So different type of argument is there. So here we can give some message like logging is successfully, we can say, okay, and comma, that is second argument, that is our string, and that is, we can say that heading of our message, that is some dialog box appear, and that is a title login. And now our collection of buttons, so that is one class is a message box buttons, okay, and then that is property. So you can take like abort, retry and ignore, okay, cancel, retry and cancel, yes, no, and yes, no, cancel. So here we can provide yes, no, or there is, you can also use okay and cancel, but here we can provide yes, no. And now that is fourth argument, and that is a, we can say that message box icon, that is some symbol icon, like our logo is there, so that is icon, and I just forward so you can see easily, and at so many possible values is there. So here just we can get logging is information getting login is successfully, so we can just information that type. Your requirement symbol, if you can provide warning, so that you can use stop, question mark, none. So here is require information, just we can see that logging is successfully, so that is information. If any getting error, exclamatory, then hand, so that is so many value, I just use information. And now equal operator, relational operator equal, and that we can match system, that is our system class or package, we can say that. Then that is window, and that is a forms, yes, yes, forms. And then dialog result is a class, dialog result, and then also hold the same value, and just a dot, and that's so many possible value. So here we can give the yes, no. If you okay and cancel, that time okay you have to take, and here we can yes. So that if condition we can compare this equal, okay, so that is a, and now we can provide to like a message. So here we can opening and closing brace, and after logging page we can take a MDA form. So here I just come out in full screen, we can give the name of MDA form. So here, okay, semicolon is remaining, C++, and now yes, now we can take here MDA form is there, so already is there. I just in right click, if not is there, I just right click and open add option is there. And now in Windows form, that is option, and here we can take like Windows form, and here to give the name, like we can say that MDI underscore form. Okay, so yes, now is okay, and I just add, okay, so MDA underscore form and add. So that is open. I just, we can in next my upcoming video we can take the designing of that MDA form. Okay, so now here I can prepare two MDA. So here we can use this MDA underscore form, that is also MDA form, but that is no only taking that, not any designing. After we can in my upcoming video lecture I provide this designing. Okay, now we can take coding, and that is okay button, and now we can give that form name. I just full screen and I provide the name, so I can take this new MDA form, and here I get MDA underscore form. We can recently add our project folder, and M is a object and provide the memory allocation. So what happened when we select the yes, here we condition provide. So if answer is yes, then open the MDA form. That is our sequence. First flush screen, then login form, and then MDA form. Okay, so how it's open? M.show. So same way in the flush screen logic. And then current, this pointer is there, current that login form address in that, and that is a hidden. That is method. And now is a okay. So there is a we can take 3 lines. Okay, in this coding. Okay, now we can what happen in else part. So here we can just like if record is not read, and so that is no c equal to 1, because that is here we plus plus. And then else part we can first message box simple, we have to use message box show, and we can just give here a message invalid user. Okay, that is message. And also we can clear our 2 text box, that is text, and we can provide the blank value, so both are clear. Okay, so if user is not valid, then we can just say that invalid user. Okay. Now, and also we can enter in if condition. We can hear what happen if that user yes, if here in yes no, if no provide, then c variable 1, but after that is not 2. So here only one record is there. So here we can c equal to 0. After in entering this if condition, we can provide this c equal to 0. Otherwise what happen, whenever your record is successfully reading and here is going, if in case you can press the OK or cancel 2 button, but you can OK yes or no button, we can say OK or cancel also take button, but here we can use yes or no button. If user press no button, that time what happens, c is always go in here invalid user. So that is a one important simple line logic, but that is very important. If you forget this, then not entering this if condition, because what happened, c is a 1 already is there, and now is 2 is there, so that if condition is never true, so you cannot enter in this MDA form again. So we can take here c equal to 0. So I think you can understand what I am saying. Okay, so there is, I think, sufficient coding. And also yes, logging is successfully, that is finished, and now our turn is a cancel button, that is last coding in this logging form. So we can take in design and that double click cancel button. So what happened in cancel button, we can same as a message box dot show, and here we provide same as a our in double quote are you sure to exit from, we can say that login form. Okay, from and form. So here is a, we can use the from FROM from, yes, and form FORM, yes, right. So yes, now is right. So that is, are you sure to exit from logging form? So that is a O and R, that is sequence. And now here we can also give like we can say that exit. Okay, that type heading is the message box, and now we can also the turn off button and message, we can say that message box dialog, and that time we can use OK and cancel. In previously we can in logging form we can use yes no, and that time I use the OK cancel. You can also use yes no, there is no any error. And now turn off the icon, same way in the logging form. So message here box icon is there, and now that time we cannot use information. That is now is we can say that some alert. So we can say that warning. So I just use warning as icon, and equal, that is same way in previously in logging. Here we can use system, yes, and then we can use Windows, yes, and then form is there, and then dialog result is there, and then we can select the we can say that OK button. Previously we can say that yes, here we can take OK. So if that is happen, if user click are you sure to OK, yes, OK press, then what happen is dot dispose, that is a method dispose will come out from that logging page, that is known as a dispose. We can say that dispose. Okay, so that method is there in currently this form, so we can use this pointer that is holding the current form address. So you have to know very well what is this pointer. Okay, so I think now all coding is well, there is no any error. Let us check. I think just revise any coding we have to take. First we can apply all code, and first we can revise, and then we can run our page. Otherwise we can take the error. So runtime, if you not take any error or you cannot risk, so you can first watch your all coding on revise, and then you can run your. So here main important is our select query. So let us check select star from. So here you can see that FROM. So our form is a FORM. So that's the here close is there keywords, and that our table name where uname, that is our table name. If that match and that password is match, then and then we can say that or reading that record, and that record if read, then C is a plus plus, but because we can provide the C is initially 0, and that C is 1, that if condition is true, and then we can enter that provide the 0. Otherwise that it a second time user get that C is a 2, so that if condition is never true, so your logging is not successful anywhere. So C plus plus 1, then 2, 3, that while loop is again giving increment operator, that is plus plus sign. So you can know very well increment operator. So now I think there is no any error. So that's the, I think, complete our coding. Okay, I just run. Okay, F5 function key. So first is a flush screen, then logging pane. Yes, and our date time is now print. All form is okay. And yes, now logging page is open. And here we can supply our username, password, and we can first give the value of that field name. So otherwise getting the error. So I just show you what happened. So I just cancel button. Here you can see our text, that is a heading, that message. And are you sure to exit from logging form? Yes, okay. So exit. So now we can provide some value to our table, then we can match, otherwise it not match. So we cannot provide the value to, I just open because we have to close access because taking the error. If first time we can take the connection string, that time we can close our database or access file. I here open again, and I just open, that is our database. I think we can see the yes CS project that you can look there is two, but here is our main root folder we have to identify. So I just, okay, yes, that screen is down, so you cannot watch. Okay, so I just double click, and here is a blank, so that is getting error because we cannot read. So here we can give the like username is a Ram, and password is a Honda, so our company name, but H is capital, I give a Honda, so that is a password. Okay, so our, you can give any username password, that is I just and click here, otherwise that are not saving. So I just we can save, yes, Control S, and here I close, and now that is minimized. Now there is no any problem because when we can get the connection string, that time any other software not taking our table, that is a rules of connection string, taking the connection string. So that time you can close your database, there is no any error, just close. So there is no any error. So now there is no any error after that connect getting this. I first stop this debugging. There is two way. I just directly press this button, and shift F5 is that shortcut key. Okay, so I think Okay, and now our all coding, all designing is ready. I just save and run F5. Yes, our logging page is run, and move the progress bar. Yes, our login page is now open flush screen after. We can provide here now RAM and H is capital. You cannot see because there is a character, and just OK. Yes, so some error is there. Let us check what error. So additional info access database engine cannot find. Okay, logging here. Table name is exit book. So spelling is there. Some correction is, so that is taking error. Yes. Okay. Yes. Here is a logging. So I give the mistake to understand to you. I can mistake. So user logging, that is LO. Yes, that is you can watch your error correct. So I revise, we can coding, but here I cannot see. So our table name spelling is mistake. Here, yes, logging, you logging is there. Now is correct. Okay, just save and now run again. So be careful. So now is okay, I think. Yes, and I give the correct RAM. Yes, and H is capital. Yes, Honda, no any spelling mistake. I just again type because HONDA, yes, and then okay. Now successfully, yes. So sometime taking the error. So there is a I typing mistake just only. So I not my watch of that spelling. I just typing in fastly for your reference. So mistake. So logging is successful, and yes, that MDA form is open now, MDA underscore form. That is our goal. So we can now third stage complete our project session. So that is a continuous process in my video lecture. Now we can complete in next my video lecture. We can taking the design of MDA form and then taking master page coding. So we can take one master page and then coding we have to apply. So next video lecture I complete that form and I can see you how to use the menu. Some student not getting the idea. So that is also asking to sir your next upcoming video lecture you can put also MDA form menu coding, and that which we can open all form like master transaction. So all menu is here, and then we can select any window form like master, like we can select the employee form, model master, customer master, service master, and transaction we can say purchase, purchase return, sell return, stock, and then report, utility, about us, then help and exit. Okay, so I just now close. So I think you can understand. So I just and run one time and giving the wrong username password I have to, what happened. So let us check. I supply intensely wrong username password. So what happened? So provide the username correct, but here I give the randomly there is password. So and just click OK. So what happened? We can let us check also. And if user not provide the correct username password in that login page or form, so what happens? So invalid user, that is a else part execute. And when we click OK, that all here text is clear, but here is a asterisk one remaining because that we can set in password character. So that is also. So I think you can understand. And let us now I provide again correct password and username password. Okay, now is okay, and I just press OK. Yes, no. So there is a mix up here. I give from and I remove this, and then yes. So there is a here taking error. I just close, and what happened? Yes, okay, yes, that is right, because we can in coding part, that is a logging page coding. Yes, here I say you here is a plus plus, and after we can taking the 0. Okay, but we can cancel that. What happened? That is a not getting ID here in C is a 0, so that is valid. Yes, right, we have to write. And invalid, that time here we can clear, and after we can provide like else part. Condition is well. I just full screen. So yes, now ready. You can also take this 0 in cancel button. Yes, no, there is no problem. So here we can directly provide the dispose method. So that is not required. Here we can provide the static keyword. So that is sometimes required static. So that value is not changed. So I just okay. Yes, we can provide the global variable taking that time staking, that is modifier is there. So here is require only. Yes button is there. If we provide the by mistakenly, then else part go, and we can take here focus on one statement coding is remaining, and that is username dot focus. So again our focus is a now in the username. Okay, there is no any other changes. Both text box is clear and invalid user is there. So now his coding is okay. I think there is no any mistake. Like let us check. Yes, now is a welcome screen is there, and that is finished. Yes. Uh, yes. Now is here is there, and here I provide the perfect username password. Okay, so that is not clear. So there is some time getting the mistake. So just we can provide the correct username password. So that is some. Okay, I think you can understand very well what is a logging page. And now my upcoming video lecture, we can solve the or designing any problem. If you get first time initial first project you can handle, so you can take some designing issue is there. So we can take the MDA form and then master designing. We can take one video lecture. So master design is there. So I think I hope you can understand what is a flush screen and logging page, and if you provide the correct username, that what happened, and if you provide the wrong username password, then what happened. Here we can getting two error. First we can by mistake my logging table name is a mistakenly, so that time getting the keyword mistake. You can recognize your error. What is a keyword? So that is a spelling mistake, simple typing mistake. And then we can provide wrong username password. So here is a one character is remaining, so that is getting error. So I conclude my session. I hope you can understand, and subscribe my channel Ashok Sijal Academy. Press the bell icon to never miss any update. And thanks for your watching, supporting, and sharing my video lecture. And wait for my upcoming video lecture for MDA form to designing. And then we can next step take the master page design and then coding, and then step by step we can go ahead like report all things this. So I hope you can understand and enjoy this session to helpful to your project. So now I finished. I just stop and